to see all these familiar faces. Ah, I can't believe it. I haven't seen Queen in a long time, so I'm really happy to see her. Hi. I'm drinking my wine, California wine, a gift from a friend. And I got my favorite wine glass at Goodwill. That's probably my zero waste favorite thing to do. I love Goodwill. And I haven't bought any new clothes in 4 years thanks to Goodwill. So that's pretty awesome. Cheers to that.
Awesome. Now your turn to choose someone on the screen. You may or may not know them.
I'm gonna choose Gwen.
Hey everybody, I'm Gwen. I'm drinking an Oregon Apple Outlaw pineapple cider. It's really delicious. Let's see, one of my favorite zero waste things is I love making my own cards from like scrap paper and stuff like that, and finding kind of random things to decorate them with and all that. And I will pick Teresa.
All right, Teresa, you're on.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on mute. Hey everyone, how's it going? Teresa with Race to Zero Waste, the CEO here. And thanks for everyone for joining us. We are live at 5 on Facebook right now for our second in the series, Zero Waste Happy Hour for Zero Waste 5K Run Walk Challenge to Zero Waste. Okay, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do a couple notches. Thank you, Gwen, for the introduction, and Lindsay. I'm going to make a White Claw slushie. So I consulted with a couple of my bar friends, Shirley, if you're out there, Matt, Griff, all my friends. So they said just mix it all together. And my sweetie said, no, you need to do a bit more. Like you need to actually measure this. So that's what I'm gonna do. We just tested it, it was delicious. I had some leftover mango and I didn't know what to do with it. And I also had some leftover kind of the Simply Nutritious drink. So I'm gonna call this a zero waste White Claw slushy cocktail because right, I can recycle this aluminum. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of this tropical juice. You could use any juice. You know, this is apple carrot. You can get in your local grocery store. It's very common. I think I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If it's here, I'm sure it's other places, hopefully. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm using the mango White Claw. I did not purchase these. My sweetie purchased them. I'm not really into tropical drinks, but here I go. We're going to try this out. So we tested it. We did 1/3 of the White Claw real quick. I had a couple lemons and limes laying around. We all need vitamin C, right? I think so. So I'm going to do lots of vitamin C these days. Seems like. I'm just going to do a half of each, a lemon and a lime, add a little citrus, a little acid, make it, you know, taste fresh. I like the White Claw is not going to be fresh, right? And I have this leftover mango here. You can see that. I'm going to also add a little bit here. I don't know where the lid to this is. Someone gave this to me a long time ago. It still works, so I'm just gonna, you know, put my hand over. One last thing I wanted to show. Someone thought this was glass years ago. I have one of those old school 1950s. He was like, oh, so I made some ice out here because I don't have ice. So I'm gonna get the ice real quick. Got a couple chunks of ice. Woo! I'm gonna blend this together. Stay with me, everyone. This is amazing. Can you see it? I think sometimes doing zero waste demonstrations are fun, but can you guys see this? And then, speaking of mango, I found this today up in the cabinet. It says I'm wearing South Beach, so I thought, hey, why not use this? Whoa, big chunk of ice. It's all part of being live, right? Let's make it fun. So Here's to everyone out there. I want to say thank you everyone who signed up for the Zero Waste Challenge. And we had a couple more signups today. And I'm going to pass this on to Lindsay with Dispatch. What do you have in your?
I'm drinking white wine because it's the first sunny day in the outer Richmond in quite some time. So I feel like it's a celebration. For my zero waste hack, when my husband and I first moved to Hawaii, we didn't have a furnished apartment, and he taught me the art of picking. So we would go to the really wealthy neighborhoods on big pickup day. That's where we got most of our furniture from. And it was unreal when we discovered all of the thrown away treasure that you can decorate your house with. And most of our artwork is from reclaimed wood that he paints, and the furniture is made a lot from wood that he's found and made furniture from, as well as what we picked up in Hawaii when we were there. So that's the gist of my zero waste hack. Do you want me to talk about Dispatch now or in a little bit?
Let's keep going around just to get everyone introduced. So how about you pick someone else that hasn't gone yet?
Great. I'll pick Freddie.
Oh, hi everyone. Hi Teresa, thanks for inviting me. I'm on my phone, so I really can't see anyone. I think I'm scrolling. Okay. I'm in San Francisco. I used to work at the Department of the Environment. My position was terminated. So I'm now enjoying, just like taking the time to figure out my next chapter in life, and continuing to see how we can hold on to zero waste. Because even as someone that lives in the city, I can see that the zero waste movement is deteriorating a little bit. And so I've just been engaging in conversations with people, and yeah, still like looking to stay connected with the community. So nice to meet all of you. And
Thank you.
do I select the next person?
Were you finished? Sorry.
Yeah. Did I answer all the questions?
Sorry, maybe the delay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Lindsay.
Yep, you're good. Yes. So who else would you want to choose? I'm just coming on with my computer now.
I don't know who's spoken yet, but I will pick Vernon the gardener.
Perfect.
I think you're on mute, Vernon.
Unmute yourself, Vernon.
Don't even know.
He's on-
Anyway,
you're unmuted now.
I ain't got no damn liquor right now. But my favorite is tequila, if I had it. So Race Zero Waste is long overdue, in my opinion. My contribution simply is I specialize in composting and vermiculture, building gardens with recycled materials, creating garden art with recycled materials. So I have worked with Teresa and Maria. If I had a drink, I would salute you for your success.
Cheers. It's so good to see you, and thanks for chiming in from Japan.
Oh,
Nice.
yes, ma'am. Thank
Toast
you.
to you. Everyone can toast. Cheers.
Cheers. I think I can, Lindsay. Well, let's do the Hollywood squares.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little
Yeah.
quick shot, you guys, on the screen.
Look at all of us. We're live at 5.
Okay, hold your glasses up. Smile.
Air shot.
Air shot. Awesome. Well, thank you, Vernon. All right, so we have Maria and Maya and Veronica, and I'm not seeing the name here. Was it Natasha? And Laura has not gone yet, I think. Did I cover everyone? So who do you choose, Vernon? It hasn't gone yet.
Oh, I'll choose Maria.
All right.
Hi, Maria here. I'm Director of Communications with Race to Zero Waste. And I have the lovely pleasure of caretaking for Vernon's garden. So on all these Zoom calls, this is the garden he established, like 100%, almost 100% through cuttings that he gathered through the years. We're on 48th Avenue. Out in the Rob, as we like to call it, the Richmond Ocean Beach. So yeah, this is all sandy, so super sandy soil, but with vermiculture and the worm box, which I'm sitting on. We'll get to show you a little bit later. This garden flourishes and continues and has really been a beautiful place. Oh, 42nd Korea. Oh my gosh, those are your neighbors. Yeah, and it's just been really nice to be here as we shelter in place, kind of back in the world this week and came back for being out right now. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Oh, I guess my favorite way to zero waste is really helping continue this garden and making sure it doesn't go to waste. It was a community garden, starting with community effort, so just to keep it going.
Wonderful. All right, who do you choose?
I'm gonna choose Laura.
Hello, everyone. Good to see all your shining faces. Many of you I know, and good to see some new faces too. I have been involved with Race to Zero Waste since the first one, I think. And my company, Envirolutions, is a sponsor for this year's Race to Zero Waste. So happy to be involved in that way. Yeah, mostly it's just good to see all your faces from so far away. And I'm going to steal Alejandra's kind of share here. This is a cup that says thankful, and it's from a white elephant gift from the holidays. And we thought at first it was a little cheesy to be always drinking out of a wine cup that says thankful, but now we scraped the thankful off the other one, but I think we're going to keep this one because I'm just thankful to be with all of you, and thankful that this movement keeps going on. The only other zero waste hack that I will share is that I just bought a hopefully very easy tool to cut the tops off of glass bottles. And we're planning to make a string of lights for this kind of shed area that we have out of reused glass bottles. So I'll let you know how that goes as that develops. And so I pass it on to someone else. And did you say that Maya has not yet gone?
I don't
Okay,
think
then
so.
I'll pass it on to Maya.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm located right now in Oakland, and I'm enjoying my neighbor's backyard because I have dogs. I'm also enjoying Oakland's finest tap water, my favorite water to drink out of a glass. But I probably will switch to wine sometime soon. I work at Dispatch Goods, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been working on recently. It's been really awesome and fun and exciting to be a part of this community and to be helping to promote reusables when and where we can. I would say when it comes to different ways that I reduce my waste, I've now started just Googling if there are ways for me to reuse and repurpose things that in different ways that I never thought I could. So, for example, yesterday I finished I'd really finished one of my sponges, and I've been dishwashing. I don't know if anyone else has been dishwashing like crazy, but I have. And a different use for your sponges when they're done is being able to put them underneath your plants, especially the plants that want to be that are fickle when it comes to overwatering or underwatering. It can help them self-water a little bit better. And I feel like I am constantly trying to balance that with my house plants. So I'm going to try that this weekend with some of my newer plants.
That's a great tip. I recently saw that where you can put the sponge down the side wall of a planter. So maybe you don't have to get it all the way at the bottom, and that you just water the actual sponge and then the
Yeah.
will connect to it. That is so cool. Good idea.
Awesome.
All right. The zero waste tip-in. Do you have anyone? Let's see. We haven't had Natasha or Veronica. I think that's everyone. Yeah, those two.
Yeah, either one. How about Natasha, since I see you on my little screen?
Okay. Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm calling from Minnesota, and it's spring here. Got the apple tree in the background. And my zero waste hacks is I've been living in a tiny home for 2 years now, which is a converted school bus that my partner and I converted. And we do a lot of weird things that you probably normally wouldn't do in a regular house. Like we have a dry toilet. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it separates number 1 and number 2.
I have
And it's
one in that
Okay.
tiny home. Yep.
Yay, I love that.
That's right.
Yep. So we use a lot less water than a lot of people in both our shower and since we don't have a toilet. So that's a really good hack.
That's awesome. Yay, tiny home people. My virtual background makes my mask disappear to show off the home. So I'll go back to the mask, but
Okay.
thank you. I love hearing that. All right.
And I'll pass it off to Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica.
Hello. I'm new. Alejandra just invited me like right when this started. So nice to meet all of you. My drink and my zero waste hack are related. So my favorite zero waste hack is to make simple syrups, juices, stock, whatever, anything with veggie scraps, fruit scraps. So I have, I made a simple syrup with rhubarb and ginger that I had left over. So I made a rhubarb ginger daiquiri.
Oh, impressive.
Woo.
Cheers to that.
You guys are taking the drinks to a whole nother level. We've got blended drinks, we've got daiquiri drinks infused with rhubarb and awesomeness. That is so great. And then we also have Jamie. I know Jamie, you've did you get a chance to share earlier or did? Oh, she's on mute.
Oh, no, I have
Okay,
not.
great.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
I know you'll be presenting later, but just give us who you are, your drink, and then your favorite zero waste hack.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie. I am a school sustainability associate. I work for Stop Waste. We give technical assistance to schools to reach their sustainability goals in the whole of Alameda County. And with the pandemic going on, it's been a like many other schools, all of the schools in the United States, it's been a challenge to reach these communities, especially our students. So hopefully by next school year, we will be shifting to a more digital platform and hopefully that will run smoothly. I love wine. I have Oak Leaf, it's a California wine. And my favorite zero waste hack is, so this was before the pandemic. I know you're not allowed to bring your reusable bags anymore, but instead of bags, I like to bring like cloth. So I have huge handkerchiefs. I have like scrap cloth that I would fold into bags. So it's a form of furoshiki to fold it's the art of folding cloth into like using them for gift wraps. I mainly use mine for grocery shopping. And if I needed a bag, I always have my handkerchief. And it's so versatile too. Like I can use a handkerchief for just about anything. So yeah, that's my favorite zero waste hack.
That's awesome. Thank you. I love it. Say the name again.
Furoshiki?
Yeah, if you don't
The
mind putting
Japanese
that
art.
in the chat, however you type that, I do not want to
Okay.
mess
Let
that
Hey,
up.
me,
Lindsay.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it on the, oh, there we go.
There it is. I wanted to just mention, since there's a lot of confusion around reusable bags, the ordinance does not say that we can't use reusable bags. It just says that a plastic bag ban, statewide plastic bag ban, is on hold from being enforced. And so it's the grocery stores that have said that you can't use it. So that's mainly like a Safeway or Trader Joe's or things like that that are saying that. But plenty of smaller grocery stores still allow you. All the places I go to still allow you to. And if they say it's part of the ordinance, they're not correct. So you can correct
Okay,
them and say
good.
that that's actually not true.
It's individual store owners that are choosing that. Good to know.
Exactly. And corporations have said, that they don't want to do it because it somehow is increasing risk, which is just ridiculous when you think of the logistics of how the groceries are touched by the person that's checking you out. And you know what I mean? There's just so many points
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
so it's their choice. It's the store's choice, and it's not part of the ordinance.
Yeah, I need to have a good chat with our natural foods co-op up here in Ukiah because, I'm like, I do like it when they offer boxes.
Yeah.
And you can always pack it yourself. That's when I go to Safeway, you can just tell them to put it back in the cart and just pack it yourself.
Wheel it on out
Yep.
to the bag in your car. True. Wonderful. Well, this is such a great lineup. We've got some great, people to share all the fun zero waste hacks that I think it's an ongoing, your drink, your zero waste hack, because we all learn so much about what's going on, things like the bag situation, bulk food, and depends on which store you're going into. Those definitely have taken a hit, but on the other side, obviously nature's had a chance to really recuperate with so much less people industry, with less people driving. So that's one big benefit of all this. But we are here as advocates and leaders within this movement to share and talk a little bit more about what's all going on. And Teresa's going to share with us a little bit. Do you want to do it now, Teresa, about kind of what the numbers are, or go right into presenting?
Yeah, I could do that real quick. So again, thanks everyone who has signed up. Oh, I have mango on my tongue, on my tongue. Sorry. The 5K run, walk, roll, bike challenge to zero waste. Thus far, we have about I'm trying to think here, probably roughly 20 folks that have signed up. We have fundraised roughly $600, so that's super exciting. And there's been some folks, honestly. There's one guy who's already ran 119 miles. So the folks that are out there, we are on Facebook Live. So if you're interested and you're not actually on the Zoom chat, go to racetozerowaste.org and help support our organization. I'm going to turn this over to Maria to talk quickly about the 3 Ps and why we're doing it. I think it's very important that we also talk about that. And then I think, Maria, if you could just go right into your presentation, and then we'll move on from there. That would be great. So cheers and thanks everyone for supporting us as we pivot.
And I want to make a note. The last week it was only at 300. Now we're at 600. So I like the trajectory this is going, right? Doubling every week. That's so cool. We have 2
and I forgot to mention, sorry, Lindsay, we're halfway through our campaign. So, all we can do right now is just let people know what our mission is. Our mission is to reduce single-use disposables downstream. It's a very simple mission. But I'm going to turn this over to Maria, our Director of Communications, and she can briefly talk about why we're fundraising and also talk about her worms, as she is an established worm mama. Take it away, Maria.
Hey, before that, I think mango is going to be like what pumpkin spice was to fall for the summer. Like this is a mango beer, a mango cart beer. It's the new pumpkin spice. Yay. It's tasty. But yeah, we're really the 3 Ps. We're really looking at our past. We're looking at our workers, what we've done in the past. And a lot of our workers, we span all age groups, from college students to elders, and we need to be able to support them. Event season was canceled for the foreseeable future, we're probably won't have large gatherings. So, you know, a lot of our workers kind of depend on the season to kind of get them through the year. So we were able to send some funds out. We would like to keep that going, especially for folks who really need it. And also, we're really examining what we can do right now, making zero waste accessible. We're kind of going backwards in time a lot, you know, just with everything. So what we had, now we're focusing back on littering again. We've all seen the single-use gloves and masks and towels littering everywhere. I went on a block walk, you know, the other day and picked up a whole grocery bag full of just PPE. You know, this wasn't even, you know, stuff that you would see before we started sheltering in place. So we really need to make the public aware that, you know, you can't just throw this again, you know, the keep America clean. We're really having to readdress in very simple ways how we can stop this, and trying to see if we can partner with the big grocery stores where people are going and tell them, hey, they don't go, these gloves and masks don't go in recycling. They go in landfill, and maybe even establishing TerraCycle stands where we can collect these gloves. So that's our second way. And our third way is preparing for the future. So what does zero waste look like at large events and large gatherings when we open back up? Before we had our zero waste stations where folks would come to our zero waste specialists and they would sort their things. And that was kind of, you know, just, you know, almost like a demo, but we really want to have it as a standard. We had great strides in it, doing work at Dolores Park, partnering with Love Dolores. We had our zero waste stations. We've, you know, continued to expand there. And like I said, we want to have this, our zero waste stations as, you know, a standard at events now. So when people come, they sort. And before shelter in place and we were going to have our physical run, we were actually meeting up. We were working with dispatch to introduce a fourth station, which would be a reusable station. So getting folks used to the idea that, no, you don't have to just, you know, sort that way. You know, you can use reusable containers, and dispatch is going to provide those reusable containers. And we had Clean Canteen with their reusable cups. And so really ramping up ways that we can get folks used to a brand new normal. So that's what we're forward thinking on. But yeah, it's this whole, like I said, past, present, and preparing for our future. That's really the goal. That's what the goal of our race and the funds are going towards, is trying to establish this in this 3 ways. With that said,
so do you want to go into, yeah, you want to go into the worms, Maria?
Yeah, so the worms, I kind of feel, so I invited Vernon on. Vernon was also a neighbor with Teresa. We all lived in the same neighborhood. I had chickens, and he's the one who introduced me to vermicompost, and really made it simple, because I think a lot of people get caught up in, oh, I have to have this machine and I have to do it this way, and there's no wrong, well, there is wrong ways, but it's really, there's so many ways to do it, and it's really finding a way to do it for yourself. So my first worm bin, it came from a trunk that I found on a street corner. I drilled some holes, put some 2x4s in the bottom, and that was the worm bin. You know, we had filling for my chickens and their hay, but it was successful. I got my first batch of worms from this worm box on 48th Avenue. And when I moved back to Chicago briefly, I had an indoor worm system. So I know, Natasha, you're in Minnesota. Yeah, outdoor worm systems don't really work that well. But I just had one of those big, plastic storage cases, drilled some holes, put rocks on the bottom, and it was enough for my family, for me and my son who's living with my parents. The general rule is 1 square foot per person. So if you have 1 square foot per person, you can successfully have your worms eat your garbage. And so now we have Brennan created this one. I don't know if you can see it. It's in ground, but it's just cinder blocks, some 2x4s. I was just harvesting yesterday, so my bedding is kind of messed up, but they love the corn. Corn is just now in season. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, we feed them about twice a week.
Hey Maria, just keep your camera down, like just so we can see the side. That's all right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Sorry. I'm like, how can I show you the inside of the worms? There. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right.
See, hey, Lindsay, what about the screen sharing? Would that be better or not?
No, it's her camera.
The camera. Okay.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. It's me moving around. So one of the cool things about here's some wormies. One of the cool things about having in-ground outdoor bin is that you really do have some wiggle room. Although never put this in, never put citrus peels and never put bones. You could do that with the in-ground worm bins. Of course, not too much. Speaking of mangoes, here's a lovely mango pit. Let's see if we can open it up. There's often like a whole own universe within the mango pits. Oh, no wormies in there today. But yeah, and another thing that's really helpful is using wastewater. It's another way that Vernon and this garden has taught me more zero waste practices. Take the dishwater, and it makes really great nutrients for the worms. My son likes to call it the pee bucket. I let him pee in it. And
hey, Maria, yeah. Natasha, I think, has a question.
Okay.
You have a question, Natasha?
Yeah. No, I accidentally hit that, but I don't know how to shut it off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you raised your hand. Okay. Continue on.
Okay. Yeah, and I actually, there's another wormy. Another cool thing. Oh, and these worms were from my worm bin in Chicago. I put them in a few cups and brought them on the airplane with me. I'm not sure that would fly, no pun intended, these days, but yeah, that's how I was able to repopulate the worm bin when Vernon was in Japan, and kind of get things going, because once they repopulate, all the other worms come. They reproduce really quickly. They're talk about rabbits, but they're amazing. And I would really like to give a couple minutes to Vernon, especially if because he's taught it in schools. He's literally worked with the people who've written the books about it. Yeah, if and maybe Vernon, you can talk about the Tupperware, the on-the-go vermiculture compost, if you wouldn't mind. Vernon.
Oh,
maybe. Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah, you want to talk about real quickly about the Tupperware compost, the portable compost?
Okay, the Tupperware was from the Oakland school, and this was the fact a lot of the city people didn't have much materials to work with or no backyard. So they encourage people to use your old useless Tupperwares, especially the larger. Just drill some holes in them, lay in your organic bedding, and start diverting your garbage, which is well chopped, of course. Chopping it up is key because they can eat it faster. If you don't chop it, it just sits there. It's got no teeth. It'll just mold and probably get maggots. So the idea of the Tupperware is you cannot obviously recycle all your kitchen waste into that Tupperware, but over time you are diverting a good portion of it, especially if it's chopped. You can triple the volume. So the idea is divert whatever you can. And let's say you go on a picnic. You can bring that with you and recycle it on the spot. If people brought their Tupperwares to their picnic or beach lunch, how much would you divert? Even if it's a small amount, that ends up to tons a year if everybody actually did it. The only problem with the Tupperware, it does not last forever. It depends on how you care for it. A lot of the lids become loose in time. It's just a matter of securing the top with say recycled string, tie it down, keep the critters out, keep it in a shady spot. And with Tupperware, you can actually build your system up to say 6 Tupperwares on your shelf, where reasonably you could recycle all your kitchen waste as you build your supply. And the one interesting question is, do the worms overpopulate the Tupperware box because they reproduce so much? So the question scientists cannot answer is how do worms know when to stop populating? That's the key. They will never repopulate your Tupperware because they know exactly when to stop breeding. So you don't have to worry about overpopulation or overcrowding is the human problem. Worms have figured it out.
So maybe that, Berna, maybe that's more of they overshot the carrying capacity. They know how much food they have. It's similar to deer, that they unfortunately start dying off when their food supply A is threatened, or they're in a specific area, food is scarce, or simply there's enough food to supply the existing deer. And I think worms and all the creatures of the earth, they figured it out, right? I think maybe we're still struggling with that as a species. But I really appreciate you being on here. And I think Jamie, are you on there so we can keep this train moving along?
And one thing, Freddie posted a question in the chat. The geographic, I'm not sure, but maybe you're talking about like what's the difference between like red composting worms, red wigglers, and earthworms?
Yeah, I guess the question is like, so they can, worms don't need a lot of space. It sounds like they can live in Tupperware, and like Vernon mentioned, like they will die off if there's not enough space. But I'm just wondering, like, is it better if they have more space, or that doesn't really matter?
They will actually populate the area as accordingly. Like they are very good. Yeah, they self-regulate like humans could never.
Yeah.
They, if they're in a small space, they will never crowd it, so they're dying off. If they're in a larger space, what happened in this worm bin is that we have earthworms come in. So I bought the red wigglers from it's called Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. I really like them, and they're like a family-owned farm back east. But yeah, we have both earthworms you know, that are native to the area, and the red wiggler composting worms, and they coexist. And again, it's never really an issue of crowding. They self-regulate, they'll migrate. There are worm migrations. You'll see them like crawling out, and you know, if they don't want to be there anymore, they'll find a way to go. And I'll just show you a quick example of chopping your compost. I just fed the worms yesterday, but we have some coffee grounds, some banana, some cinnamon sticks, and the dreaded citrus. But just chopping it up again helps.
Are there worms in there?
No, this is strictly for my food. Yeah, so this is the prep. This is the prep. It's just a bucket with a kitty litter bucket, upcycled. Brennan made this contraption with wood bottom, and yeah, you just take your food and give it a few chops, and you know, throughout the days, like you keep adding to it, chopping it, and then it's ready to go as soon as you dig a hole, and you can feed your worms. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, that's Old Worm Mom, and I am really excited to hear from Jamie about her experiences and why she got into vermiculture. And yeah, take it away, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Maria. I learned so much. I am a new worm mom. I fostered a worm bin. What had happened was, so my team created about 17 worm bins, and we were supposed to send them out to teachers and classrooms in March. And then a day before the event was supposed to take place, the shelter in place was done. So we had to cancel the whole event, and all 17 worm bins have been spread out within our team. Some teachers took them, but I have one of the worm bins, so I'm just a foster mom. I will return this worm bin once the shelter in place lifts. But yeah, so as a new worm mom, it's really low maintenance. I can show you rather than talk on the floor right now so that it's easier to show. So I have like this huge container, you can see. And what we did is we drilled holes on the sides, just like what Maria and Vernon were talking about. And this worm bin started off with about a pound of red wigglers. If you're wondering where to get a pound of red wigglers, you can actually order them online, and they will be delivered to you in a box, which is really surreal. When we received ours in the mail, I thought they would be like in a plastic bucket of some sort, but no, it's just a plain box, and in it are worm castings and tons of worms. So I do have a video of that. It looked really cool and fun. But yeah, so let me show you what's in this worm bin. So this worm bin started off with, can you see it? Yeah, okay. I think, wait, hold on. The weight of my phone is.
Yep, we can see it.
All right. Let me just go here. Okay. So this worm bin started off with, like I said, a pound of red wigglers. The bottom part, the first layer would have been a layer of cardboard on the bottom so that it absorbs the moisture from what would be the castings, right? But now you don't even see the cardboard. It is now disintegrated. It has disappeared. And yeah, I now have to replace it because if you notice, if you can see that the worm castings, it's quite damp. It's a very damp environment in here right now. About 2 weeks ago, I checked on them. They were pretty happy. The worm environment in here was, it was like the perfect temperature at some point, but for some reason, the temperature, I guess the humidity increased in here, and now it's really damp. But just so you know, I didn't start off with worm casting. So it started off with cardboard. food scraps and the worms, and then piles and piles of newspaper strips. And this is all the result. This is about 2 months old now, and that's a lot of worm castings that I have right now. But yeah, so aside from the red wigglers, I do have sow bugs in here as well. So roly-poly cousins in here. And yeah, so it's just starting off. It's starting off on a really, really, really good note. I do feed them about probably every 2 to 3 weeks. It depends. I don't feed them too much, and right now I'm probably not going to feed them any food that has too much moisture in it. So I'm just gonna feed them dry leaves for now. I do have leftover food scraps. I know there was a question before, like somebody asked me if how much do I feed my worm bin. I would not feed them every time I have food scraps, because then that would just overload them with food. And with that, you're kind of inviting other critters as well. So I did have an overpopulation of columbolas. Oh, it's columbolas. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it, but it's columbolas, and they were just everywhere. And my poor worms were competing with these little mites. And so what I did, I sat my worm bin out in the sun, and just to dry it out a little bit, because of the moisture, it does attract these columbolas. And yeah, but now it's even more wet inside, so I'm not quite sure what's happening right now. But this is very ideal if you live in a smaller apartment, like I do. So I don't have the space, nor do I have a garden. I don't have any outdoor spaces as well. So this would be ideal if you do have an apartment, or if you live in a smaller space and you don't have access to compost. But like I said, it's not the end all for all your food scraps. We definitely have to put things into our commercial compost bin. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. They have been my emotional support throughout this pandemic. But yeah, I would probably start harvesting this in another 2 months, I would guess. I'm trying to reach a certain point to harvest it. But yeah, it looks very healthy and it smells scrumptious. It smells delicious in here. So yeah, that's my compost bin.
When you harvest it, do you put that on other plants? Freddie had asked a question. They're really healthy fertilizer for plants, right?
Yes, definitely. So once I harvest it, I don't have plants of my own. I have like little pots of succulents and all that. But if I do harvest it, I would just drive it over to my uncle's house, and he has a garden. So
what about making worm compost tea?
Yeah.
You can
right?
do that too, definitely. There are those worm bins that you can buy that has like a little tap on the side that you can then harvest the water from. So you can harvest the tea from. But this isn't the case. This is homemade.
Yeah, and for harvesting, it helps if you kind of feed them on one side and they'll migrate. So
Yes,
they'll leave
definitely.
their castings there, and then you can go in, get them, harvest them. You have this is some soil with the worm castings, ready to go. You can mix it in water for the worm tea, and this is what we use to harvest them, to kind of strain them out. This screen, you can make it yourself just with chicken wire. You get the castings in there, shake them out, the worms stay in, and the castings go out.
Yeah. Do you often put in like newspaper or leaves or other things as you add in your food? Because you want to start with some kind of base, right?
Yeah.
Newspaper, leaves, because there's a lot of succulent, we use the succulent papers. Again, we have wiggle room, no pun intended, because we're outdoors, but we use like pine needles. There's a lot of bedding
You
I'm
totally
really-
meant that pun.
Yeah,
I
what do you
totally
mean, no
meant
pun
it.
intended?
Yeah. But the corn husks have been really my favorite right now. Corn season just started. Yeah, the worms love it. The spiders love it. So yeah, but yeah, start off. Yeah, if you don't go out and buy newspapers. Use what you have. You can tear up, even cardboard if it's not too printed. But just look for what you have.
This is great. I also put in a link, you guys, to I just went on Google, Red Wiggler worm site. And there's like Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, Buckeye Organics, just a number. I don't know if there's any recommendations you guys have.
Yeah. Uncle Jim's is where I order from. They always have really healthy worms. And they have like a really cute newsletter that they email, and you can get their like physical newsletter too. But yeah, I just like
get them as a sponsor.
There we go.
Right? Or discounts to all the worm moms and dads out there. Oh, look at that. We got the up close worm action from Jamie. Awesome. And I wanted to make sure, I know I didn't see Lindsay anymore on here. Oh no, there you are. Sorry, Lindsay. Were you also wanting to share a little bit more about your organization tonight? I didn't want to lose that before we're kind of like a few minutes left to go.
Sure. Yeah. We are not worm related, but this has been a really enlightening conversation. But certainly in the same vein of trying to be as resourceful as we can and not creating new waste. So Dispatch Goods is on the mission to create new reusable systems in the takeout and delivery space. We actually started in the takeout space in downtown San Francisco, kind of in the lunch crowd. Obviously, there is no downtown lunch crowd right now. So we have just launched a zero waste food delivery service in San Francisco, where you can order from restaurants and get your food delivered in stainless steel reusable containers that we will deliver once a week. The food is restaurant prepared, but it's delivered cold, and then you just heat it throughout the week, kind of like meal prepping, but it's a way of supporting your local restaurants as well. And then the following week, we pick up your reusables on the same day that we delivered. So it's been a really exciting time. We did a 3-week pilot with one of our kind of larger partners. And then we have some really cool restaurant partners, including Casa Indian, Gapier at Nico, which is a French restaurant. It's actually a Michelin star restaurant. Chai Bar, we have pizza place called Square Pie Guys. They are epic. And Samovar Tea, which is kind of a legendary place in San Francisco. And we're adding Juice Shop and quite a few more over the next week. So we're incredibly excited to, in this time where everyone is getting a lot of waste delivered to their door, have an alternative. And we literally launched like an hour ago. So
wow.
Congratulations. Really excited to be part of this community because over the last year, it's been this community that keeps pushing our mission forward. When times get tough for us, we feel like this is a giant mountain to move. But every time we feel like that, there's someone in some organization or a green team at a tech company that pushes forward the circular systems that we need to reduce waste. And it happened again this time when COVID completely disrupted our world, and we went from a lot of new partners to no one going downtown. So anyways, I'll type the site in the comments, but it's dispatchgoodsdelivery.com.
I already did it.
You can place your orders. We're starting to deliver on Thursday of next week. So you can get your fave spots and reusables.
And
awesome, Lindsay.
promo code you can use
big into this stuff.
A promo code you can use to get $5 off is social5. The number 5. So social 5. I'll type that in as well. And that gives you $5 off.
Okay, I just put it in the chat.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Wow. And I see the video.
Super exciting.
So we'll have to add that to our social media on the page. Feel free to everyone, grab the chat as you can scroll up or or click on the different links wherever you're at on your computer or phone. And that is awesome. This kind of resources are so important right now, as a lot of us are really having to think creatively, you know, out of the box, out of the mask, out of the box and from behind the mask, right?
Exactly.
And we are going to have, next week, Laura is actually going camping. So we are going to have her on the festival the last week of the month, Friday, the 29th. We're going to really dive into talking about recycling. Laura, you can give us maybe a 1 second, like 1-2 sentence thing about what you're going to talk about more.
Well, yeah, and it's actually good that I was on this one because I'm doing a similar webinar for a governmental agency, and that one's going to be way different than what I want to do here. I was thinking I could use the same kind of presentation, but I don't think I want to bore you with such wonky details. But basically, as you all know and would anticipate, there's been a lot of disruptions to our recycling programs and policies because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and waste haulers, communities, governments are responding in different ways. And it's a day-by-day change. So I'm hoping to give folks a bit of a snapshot on what we know. It's going to be probably a little bit California-centric, but knowing that there's some folks joining from other states, I can also try to speak to and bring in some of the minimal federal stuff that's happening that I'm aware of. And yeah, so that'll be kind of the focus. And thank you for allowing me to move the date. That's great.
Right. People got to go get their camping on. That will be the Friday. What are we talking? The May
29th, I think.
Yes. Live at 5. And I'm going to turn it over to Risa. You want to take us out of here with any like words of encouragement as we, I know, divinity, moments of inspiration. Anyone else want to share? You know, maybe we'll all do a 1-word share and see if it ends up being think of 1 word for what you just learned here, and we'll all popcorn style.
Yeah, I'll start. I'm just going to say inspiring. You know, with everything that's happening with COVID and just seeing what dispatch and what you can do in your own backyard to minimize or reduce waste is super inspiring. And I just want to say on the 29th, that's going to be our virtual Zero Waste Festival. And so Laura will be part of that. Hopefully everyone here will be part of it. We're going to have Kurt Kunihiro from the Trash Pirates. We're going to have some yoga. We're going to have dancing, music, and then we're going to bring it in with trivia, raffle, and the top runners for our challenge. And with that said, I just want to say, why don't we go around real quick and say what we're grateful for. I'm grateful for relaxation. I'm grateful for everyone here. Okay, I'm saying more than one thing. I'm going to pass it on to Lindsay. What are you grateful for? Lindsay Wood. Sorry.
I am grateful for tiny homes.
Great.
All right, I pick on Laura.
My original word, too much wine already. My original word, because you said pick a word, that something that I took away was going to be wiggly, because that was the best word of the night. And I guess how I'm feeling in a word is back to the beginning, thankful. And I pick Alejandra.
I feel thankful for nature. I think during these crazy times, I feel like that's our future, taking care of it because we know the value of it. So I'm really thankful for my hikes and my walks and my flowers and my ocean and my outdoor time. Really thankful for that. And it's all free. How awesome is that?
And I'll pick someone for you. Natasha.
I am thankful for the number of people that I have met in the last, 6 months that are passionate about zero waste. And my word is poop, worm poop. I just loved this happy hour learning about composting with worms. I'm definitely going to try that.
Cool. Do you have someone to pick on in a good way?
Freddie.
Grateful for worms. I didn't know that you could do it in such a simple way, especially indoors. And And so my word is earth. And it was just really special to like tune into this. So thanks everyone for sharing.
And you pick on
Lindsay.
Great. So I would say that I am grateful for the Dispatch Goods team and how hard they've worked as we were so disrupted in COVID to forward this mission. And definitely nothing would be possible without them. And I guess the word for me that comes out of this is resilience of both the planet and the community. So with that, I will pass it along to Maya.
I would say that I'm thankful for creativity. I think that this situation and this pandemic has spawned a ton of creativity in a lot of different ways, and ways that reuse, and ways that we come together, and ways that we create virtual communities. Our team has certainly had to be very creative. And then I would say the word right now that I'm thinking of is joy. I just feel so much joy being able to be a part of this community. So, and then I choose Vernon.
Oh, you're on mute, Vernon. You're muted still.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, there. Oh, start over. Okay, my word of the day, education. I could have said a lot more, but if anybody has further questioning, I am on Instagram under Shovelface Art, all one word. I'm just grateful right now just to be alive. I should have been dead a long time ago, and I just recently survived a 40-foot tree falling on me. So I'm thankful to be alive. My quote of the day is recycle or die. I choose Maria.
Thanks. My word is community. Teresa and Vernon were my physical neighbors, and they're still my neighbors through establishing community. Just found out Lindsay is a physical neighbor, and my community just continues to grow and grow and grow. And it's really beautiful, especially during these times where we are having to turn to our communities. And something I'm thankful for, didn't get to talk about, a tool you should have as a worm mom, a torch. But that's what I'm thankful for. Thank you all.
How about you, Gwen?
So I am thankful for having a farmer's market 3 blocks from my house. Super awesome. And I would say my word would be concentrated. Being able to recycle food waste in such a concentrated area. It's pretty cool. Jamie.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like, my phone's about to die, so I'll go really, really quickly. My word, I'm really, really grateful for community. Without this digital platform, I guess I wouldn't have met a lot of different other people who have the same interests as me. And my word is just like Lindsay, it's resilience. Because of this digital world, nobody's going to bring us down.
Wonderful. Wow. Thank you all so much for being here. Tune in next week. We got live at 5 and some wonderful, I'm not sure exactly who's on the deck for next week, but we'll figure something out. If you know of anyone that is offering something in the zero waste space and they would love a platform to share about their products or services or education, send them our way to race. Sorry, what is the email again? I totally blanked out.
Oh, it's fine. Folks can just go to racezerowaste.org and find, information and how to contact us.
Yeah, there we go.
I want to hear from Plastic Free Pacifica next week.
We are.
Yay.
Yeah.
Plastic Free Pacifica.
Can I share one thing real quick before we go? I'm hosting a free screening of The Story of Plastic. It's a new film It'll be Monday at 6 p.m. The link is on the Race to Zero Waste Facebook page, and we have a Q&A session with one of the directors and producers after the film. You should all join.
Great. Love that.
Hey, Kelly.
All right. Well,
Nice cat, Mara.
everyone at the end, raise your glasses if you have one, and we'll take a photo of all of us.
Wait, should it be fuller?
1, 2, 3. Zero waste, everyone.
Zero waste.
All right. Well, thanks again. Join us next Friday, and we're going to end this live on Facebook. And have a good night. Bye, Owen. Bye,
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Love you.
Bye.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Wayne, I miss you.
I miss you.